Are you spontaneous? Do you like to go with the flow and fly by the seat of your pants? Have you ever heard someone say, let's scrap our plans tonight, let's wing it, see what happens? Well, this strategy might be great for a Saturday night out, but I wonder if anything was ever really accomplished by being spontaneous. Today we're going to learn about what it means to plan and why that's important. That's coming up next here on methodtomymoney.com. Hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm Matt Hearn, and this is methodtomymoney.com, where we talk about money, madness, and the pursuit of lasting wealth. In our last two videos, we discussed what is this concept we call pursuing lasting wealth, and what does it mean to dare to dream. Today, we're discussing method number 3 here at methodtomymoney.com. Let's make a plan. With that said, let's get started. Paul J. Meyer said, productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused effort. I think this is so true. While being spontaneous might be fun for a Saturday night out on the town, and while it might sound intriguing on an online dating profile, it is of absolutely no value when we're trying to accomplish something worthwhile long term. I mean, really, when was anything done well by accident? Think of a sports team that continually wins year after year. Do they win by accident? Or did they spend weeks planning and months practicing in high pressure situations? Think of the greatest companies you can think of. Did they get to the top of their industries haphazardly? No, they carefully, deliberately planned and strategized. And because of this planning, they knew what they would do in various circumstances, months and even years in advance. They were prepared for anything, and it allowed them to survive. Think about it. What separates the best from the rest? I submit that it's careful planning and disciplined execution. You might be watching this and thinking, so yeah, I get it. Planning is important for ball teams and for companies, but I'm just one person. What can I really control? I'm glad you asked. The Bible can help us think through this. It presents two concepts. First, that we should plan ahead. Luke 14:28, for which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it? Also Proverbs 21:5, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. But the Bible also presents another important perspective. That is that God is intimately involved in this world and that He always accomplishes His purposes. And that while we dream big dreams and plan ways to accomplish them, we must also acknowledge Him, His infinite knowledge, and His perfect goodness in all that He does. And in acknowledging this, we also recognize that our own understanding is limited. We cannot possibly know all that God knows. And therefore, while we dream and plan, we also submit to His plans, that He will bring about what honors Him and what is ultimately best for us. Where am I getting all this? Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make straight or clear your paths. Also in Romans 8:28, and we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. These passages and many others remind us that while it is wise to dream, plan, and work hard, that ultimately God's plans are really what we want. Because while we don't always understand His ways, we know that He is both perfectly good and completely in control. As I've been wrestling with how these two concepts fit together, dreaming and planning, while also trusting God's plan, I'm reminded of when I took my 8-year-old son Elijah roller skating. Now granted, this is not a perfect illustration because God knows so much more than I do as a dad, and His plans are perfect. Mine are very flawed. But when I first took Elijah roller skating, we had to spend about an hour talking things out. He had to watch the other kids roller skate. He had to plan what to do if he started to fall. He needed to decide if this skating thing was really worth the risks. I had a plan in taking him skating. I was determined that he would learn because I knew that he would enjoy it if he did. I had enough knowledge of him, his personality, of skating, and of my own abilities to catch him if he started to fall, that I was determined that he would learn to skate. And yet he needed to plan ahead and take steps to make that plan happen. And yes, he could have missed out on the enjoyment of skating if he had not trusted me as his dad to show him the way. What if he simply sat there and did nothing? What if he said, well, whatever dad determines will happen, will happen? He never would have learned how to skate. No, instead he trusted that I would either help him skate or I would intervene and overrule if his plans became harmful to him. This, I believe, is what it means to plan ahead while trusting God. Can I encourage you to take time today to plan, with God's help, to accomplish the dreams that God has given you? If you honestly and sincerely have pursued after that lasting wealth that is only found in knowing Him, then I believe over time your dreams will become His dreams. You will begin to value what He values and desire what He desires for your life. I challenge you to go to our website, complete the Dare to Dream module for each of your goals, and then begin planning to accomplish them. Remember, God never leads us to do something that He won't also give us the strength to do. There is a popular children's book I had as a kid called Frog and Toad Together by Arnold Lobel. I loved that book. As the story goes, Frog had a garden and Toad was admiring the flowers in his garden. He wanted to have a garden too, so Frog gave some seeds to Toad. Once Toad planted the seeds, he was impatient to see them grow. He began shouting at the seeds. Then when that didn't work, he sang to them, read a story to them, and played them some music. Finally, he fell asleep exhausted. The next morning, Frog woke up Toad to tell him that his flowers had started to grow. Toad was excited and relieved because, as he told Frog, what he did to make them grow was a lot of hard work. While this story is humorous, it conveys a significant truth. Yes, we are to do our part. We are to be diligent and plan ahead and work hard to achieve our goals. We're not to be lazy or idle, but to redeem the time that we have been given. And yet, there does come a time for us to rest and trust God. Rest in the fact that we have done all we can and trust in the one who sees our efforts and promises to work all things together for good to those who love Him. On our website, we've created a second module for you called Let's Make a Plan. This is where you can create a personalized plan for each of the goals that you've set within the Dare to Dream section of the site. Both the Dare to Dream and the Let's Make a Plan modules can be accessed by clicking on the Pursuit of Lasting Wealth heading at the top of the homepage. These modules will walk you step by step through the process of discovering God's dreams for your life and carefully planning for those dreams to accomplish them by His strength. Well, that's all we have time for today. Just remember, method number 3 here at methodtomymoney.com is let's make a plan. I'll leave you with one final thought. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth." If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, comment, send us a question at methodtomymoney.com. We'd love to get your feedback. More to come soon. Thanks again for watching.